Hello, and welcome to this mini tutorial on how to add some jazz and some spice to your Canvas pages. Now, the first you can see I'm really highlighting these nice little GIFs that I put in my Canvas course card. We're going to add the same thing to my sandbox here. Now, adding a GIF is a great way to add some flair, adds a little bit of interest for students to come and find. So to do that, you're going to first go to your settings, at the very bottom of your navigation page there, and find where you're going to add your image. Now, we're going to add an image in just a second, but first we got to go find a GIF. The website I like using for this is Giphy. Giphy is great because there's so many options with so many different GIFs from creators all over the world. I have an account there. I've made my own. It's a little bit difficult, I will not lie. But you want to make sure, like the one that we've chosen here, it's about the same dimensions, not exactly, but about the same dimensions as your course card. Once you find one, go ahead and right click on it and then save it as a GIF file. That's going to preserve the movement and make sure it actually turns into a GIF and not just a still image of whatever we picked. I like naming my files to make sure I know what they are and how I'm going to use them later on. This GIF file can be used for a lot of different things. And I always like saving them to my desktop so I know exactly where they're at, if all else fails. Once it is done downloading, go ahead and go back to your Canvas page, and you're going to just really simply insert the image. You're going to click on Insert Image there, and I'm really lazy, honestly. What I usually just do is I drag the downloaded file right there at the very bottom and just drag it into there. It works like a charm. And as you can see, we have a new GIF as our image. Please make sure you're saved. That's one of the most important parts. And then we're going to go back to our dashboard just to make sure everything's saved properly. And there you go, you have a new GIF image. Okay, the next thing we're going to cover is how to use HTML coding. Now, HTML coding is used all over Canvas, and it's one of the really cool things about Canvas that you can edit the pages using HTML coding. So I have an example at the very top here showing just a really quick sample page of a mock assignment where students will be talking about the elements of line and art. Now, a great block of text is great like that for students to use, but if you want to add some flair and add a different way of students to view information, you can add a video. We're going to do that by looking at the HTML code. Now you can see I have this little placeholder here that says insert video here, and we're going to edit the page and get started on adding that video to our page. Now, first you got to find the code. That's that little icon I just clicked on there. It's two little caret marks with a dash through it. And that shows you the entire code for the entire page. The first line, or where it says number 1, is the first line of code or text that's in a page, so on and so forth, okay? We are going to look for the one that says insert image here, or insert video here there, and we're going to highlight it and delete it. Once we've deleted it, we can then paste in our embed code that we copied straight from YouTube. And then to view it, we want to make sure we hit that same button we just clicked on to get the code. That takes us back to the traditional editor that we all know and love. And we're going to go ahead and just make sure everything pasted in correctly. You can see here that mine has pasted in correctly. I have the video, I have my little line of text still, so I'm going to go ahead and save it. And you can see that we have saved successfully and we have gotten our video in place. Now, to follow that up, we're really going to look again at coding, but adding apps and adding things that we really want to have as an integration, as a collaboration tool, something that kids can really interact with on our pages. One of my favorite ones is Flipgrid. Flipgrid has a lot of pros and cons depending on what you want to use it for, and there's two different ways of using it. The first way is using HTML code, which we're going to learn about right now, and the other way is using an app that's already on Canvas. It's a little bit harder to get it set up, so we're going to talk about the HTML coding for a minute here and get this one set up. I've added some spaces just so that when I go into the code, I know exactly where to put my Flipgrid videos and not just looking for the line of text and adding space that way. This was a little bit easier for me. If it works for you just to click it in there, that's totally fine. So I've deleted that little section header there, and I've already made my Flipgrid topic. If you do not have an account and you don't have made your topics made, please go make an account and get your topics made before you start this step. I'm going to click the share button. That's that little U with the little arrow pointing up. It says share. Once I click that, I'm going to look for, again, those two little caret icons, just like we had in Canvas. And when we click it, it says embed code copied. That little black extra thing there, that's letting us know that it's copied correctly and we are okay to paste it into our Canvas page. So we're going to exit that, go into our Canvas page, and we're going to go back to our placeholder and paste it in. You can see all that brand new code in there is letting us know that it came from flipgrid.com, how big it is, how tall it is, everything about it. And when we hit the little caret button again, we can see that our Flipgrid discussion is in our Canvas. Kids can go ahead and add responses, and we can now talk about Padlet. Padlet is another one of my favorite tools because it is so collaborative, and it's a way for students to really take ownership of what they're learning and what they're doing in class, especially in a virtual setting. This was a lifesaver during online learning. Now, I always have some instructions there in case some kids don't know about Padlet. Never hurts to have a couple of instructions. But again, we're going to edit the page, click on the HTML code button, and go to our Padlet that we already have made. Click the share button. And we want to make sure that when we're doing a Padlet, it's set to secret privacy and that kids can actually write on it. If it's not in secret or anything else, there's a chance kids won't be able to use it, or it can go public and that can leak any insensitive information to public, and we don't want that. Also, make sure kids can actually write on it. If you use that, they can just edit in it and not do anything else, that's going to be a problem. So make sure it's secret. You're going to go ahead and click on the embed for a blog or website. There's all the code. Go ahead and copy it. And once again, we're going to go ahead and put it into Canvas. Okay, next, we really want to talk about how to use YouTube in our course cards in our course. So once we've saved Padlet here, we can see that we can see our Padlet with our little example there for a shout out, and we know that's all good. On the next page, I'm going to talk about YouTube and how awesome YouTube is to embed into your Canvas courses because kids don't have to click links, they don't have to leave, it's all right there in the course. Now, YouTube has two options for embedding, yet again, just like Flipgrid. The first option is to use the add-on that's already in Canvas. When you hit the edit button up there, you will see that there's a little plug icon. That is for your add-ons that you have either downloaded and added, or ones that you can already have there, like YouTube. We're going to go ahead and use the HTML method, though, that we've been using for all these other LTIs that we're adding. Now, first, we need to find a video, of course, because that's the most important part if we're adding a video. So I like to use YouTube for this. You can also use Vimeo or whatever other video sharing website you like for this. YouTube is my favorite. So I found a really cool Rocket Power Golf Club video that's perfect for showing the engineering design process. And so I'm going to make sure I have my spacing correct and have my directions where I want them. And then I'm going to go back to the video up here and click on that share button yet again. Get that code by hitting on the embed button, clicking the copy button so that I can get my code copied. And then you can see that it's highlighted so we know that's copied. Going back to Canvas, hitting the caret button yet again. And we're going to go ahead and add in the code under that little other example there. Okay, and then go ahead and hit the save button to make sure everything is right. The top one is with an add-on, with the Google add-on, and the bottom one is with embedding. See, there's a little bit of style difference. That's it. This is how we can make our pages look awesome with a little bit of flair, and I hope you liked it.